Friday the 13th of February 2015. Welcome back to Fly Studio. I'm going to be going over an idea and presentation of the Wing Chun Fist, of one of the 13 methods I'm using in Fly Studio, just to share with everybody this year. First off, before we start, Gonhei Fatai to everybody. If you understand Cantonese, that is Happy New Year to you all. By the time this goes out on February the 13th, I'm not going to have a chance to wish everyone Happy New Year, because the next one will be on March the 13th. For those who don't know, every 13th day of every month for the entire year, I'm going to be sharing these sorts of clips with you. So today, I'm going to be talking about the Wing Chun Fist. And the Wing Chun Fist, for myself personally, is a very broad type of training. We do use a lot of things to train the Wing Chun Fist on. It isn't something that we just encounter at the beginning of our forms and then that's the only way we ever train it. I do have quite a massive array and kind of a library of information to train the fist, especially for striking, and sometimes it's just for stunning purposes. I think a lot of people have a misconception in Wing Chun that one strike should kill people or something, or finish them off and knock them out. At a later stage in Wing Chun system, perhaps once you've gone through the Bilji and advanced forms, the fist changes dramatically and it becomes a very, very powerful and accurate method to use. So you can have a maximum effect on somebody using a minimum effort. But at the very beginning of Wing Chun, for myself, the first type of fist that we use actually originates from our salutation I went into last time. So if I'm doing a salutation like here, and this is Lee Sing's salutation, it's a Chap Jum and a Guakun. If I analyse this Guakun and we start looking at the actual angles that we're holding, we're not fully extending the Guakun out here, we're not having it too close to the body like we do when we start doing what I'll call the Ip Man salutation. We are holding a nice angle, what we call a sickle arm. Traditionally, the sickle arm is a key component of Wing Chun system. There's a lot of things that we're doing with this sickle arm where it doesn't get fully extended out because of the risk of breakage and what have you. And especially early on in your training, it's about joint extensions and hyperextension of the tendons in the elbows and the shoulders and things. So we're looking at this fist. To me, this is a panzao. A panzao is when we're outlaying the palm, so we are putting the palm out, or outlaying or spreading out something that is actual fact facing the sky. Okay? Now, when you hold a fist here and you make contact with the panzao fist, you're literally using one straight line coming from the centre of your heart out to contact point. Okay? Now, when you're doing forms, all your fist work is done in fixed Yiji Kimima and your square body. Okay? When you actually start striking, I will question anybody that just stands there all day long in Kimima striking. Yes, we do this as a very basic practice. Yes, we do it to develop that sense of speed and accuracy and a relaxed state. These are all hands-on fists going into the bag. If I turn around so you can see. But once we start putting one foot forward, this is the place we want to be. We want to be able to train the fist work to develop quite a nice, short, sharp shock, and it needs to be done within any range of footwork that we're doing. A fist can be thrown from anywhere. A fist does not have to be thrown from one set posture from the waist down. We are separating the upper and lower parts of the body to enable us to throw a fist from whatever angle, from whatever position, and from whatever alignment you might have your legs in, okay? We do talk about a certain thing with a hands-on fist. We are literally just stunning. And we're using the hands-on fist to lead the way. We're spreading the hands-on fist outwards because it's going to open up that centre line. Okay? Anything that the hands-on falls into and the fist falls into will slightly make that swerve off to the sides and off the shoulders. There's another way of hitting with a cancel, which is what we call a choi. It's a hammer fist, and it means we're hitting this side. Now, a hammer fist was used a lot back in the day, and again, if I go back to Lee Sin's time, the hammer fist was used as another stun. It was another way of opening that centre line. So rather than pushing the fist forwards, which is what we would call a toikun, we are actually hammering the fist sideways, which is what we then call a chun choi or a cancel toikun. Okay, so these are just parts of it. It basically means if you look at my fist from here, I'm going to be drilling the actual knuckle side to the fist, and I'm drilling the hammer side as the first two things to do. Sorry, first two things to do. Now, when I'm doing these sorts of training, it enables the body to feel what it feels like to hit a target. I use a heavy bag. I like using a heavy bag. I've always liked a heavy bag. It's that they're very hard to get hold of these and drag them around to classes when you're moving left, right and centre. There's also what I will call a shock shield. It's very similar to the Muay Thai pads and things like this. It's a bit tougher on the hands itself, but if you align it up to the wooden hand like this, you can use these things to be striking. And again, when you're hitting with a cancel, you're pushing this up this way, and you're literally lifting someone straight up through the neck, okay? We're not using a cancel to hit low into the body, not yet. Yes, uppercut and things like this we cover a lot more later in forms. And then if you go onto the traditional sandbag, this sandbag here on top of the wooden mat is designed to allow that fist to actually move upwards. And again, I'm still striking with the cancel at the top there. I don't know if you can see that from this angle, but I'm still striking with the cancel at the top. Now again, you notice the body angle's changing. I'm very rarely using a cancel square on, although this is a way of powering that structure across, which is why it's one of the first methods we use within the ceiling tower. But what I'm trying to get you to understand today is when you start practicing fist work, there is a lot of similarity, and the common way of doing a Wing Chun Fist we would call a Futoku. When you've got a sun fist, or it means that this shape of the fist is going downwards and you're making the character of the sun actually in Chinese, that sun fist Futoku is a different fist to a cancel fist. Okay? And then we've got a bonsai fist too that actually penetrates along the straight lines rather than just the centre line. We're talking about a straight line from the shoulder outwards in line, and that is a bonsai fist, which we tend to call a toikun or some sort of pushing and charging fist, and it's the beginning of chonkun. Chonkun, chong as in to charge forwards, not chun as in chun, wing chun, spring tire. Okay, spring tire fist again is another method that we would go into using and attacking 5 specific areas of the body in combination. What we're talking about is chonkun as a charging fist. And once we've bonsai chonkun, pushing through, we then would be turning sideways into a cancel fist to make sure we're governing that centre line. And if we get the opportunity, futsal fist leads underneath and it finishes off the entire hip and waist areas. Okay, obviously futsal can dart upwards as well, but it tends to then turn into a bonsai like Bilji-kun at the end. These are all different things that we're looking at doing. So if we've got a cancel fist, we've got a futsal fist, and we've got a bonsai fist. These types of fist work are things that you drill all the time, and you just set yourself into a position, and you start drilling. This is all just drilling a natural seed of the Wing Chun system. It's nothing special. You don't have to be too accurate with everything, especially when you want to start learning. But the main thing is that you're learning to adjust these bodies to match you and your strengths and your powers of your own framework. Okay? That is my brief download on the Wing Chun Fist. Hope you found it useful. Again, I'll be back in March the 13th next month, and I'll be going into single sticky hand interactions. But until then, please carry on with the training, be well, stay safe, and whatever happens, have a great new year. Cheers. Thank you very much.